Hello and welcome to the Eventual Knits podcast. I am your host, Leah, also known as Eventual on Ravelry and as Miss_LJV on Instagram. So, it's super nice out, finally, and I see people sometimes do their podcasts outside and I'm always really jealous, and so I thought, I'll do mine outside. You guys. Right when I decided to come outside, one of my neighbors decided he was going to bring out his chainsaw and do a lot of cutting of things. The noise you're hearing right now, I think, is construction. Like, there's like road work. I live in a cul-de-sac. There's like road work at the end of the cul-de-sac, kind of. It's like in people's yards. I don't really know what they're doing. Like, there's lots of little flags and like there's a big hole dug in someone's yard, and I don't know what they're doing, but that just started. And as I was trying to figure out how to do my setup out here, like, there are dogs outside barking, now you hear the beeping of backing up, and then, so, not only do I live in a cul-de-sac, but we also live in kind of a valley. So, if you went into our backyard, you can see, like, up into the next block, like instead of having neighbors in our backyard, we have neighbors up a hill. And so I was watching my neighbor cut his logs or whatever he's doing in his backyard with his chainsaw, or not his chainsaw, it was probably a table saw. And like, why are you doing that in your backyard and not your garage? I don't know, but it was really funny. And I was like, if I'm in my backyard, because none of the trees have grown in yet, all of my neighbors could be like staring at me, and my next door neighbor on the one side, if he has his windows open or if he's in his backyard, he'd be seeing me. So like, I get kind of self-conscious about this kind of thing, and so I am in my front sidewalk. This seems to be okay. There are no direct windows that face me, and I can see everything. They can't exactly see what I'm doing. Like, I mean, I live at the end of a cul-de-sac, but they just see this weird setup. That's another thing, you guys. I don't know how other people set up like their cameras or their iPads or their phones or whatever they have out there to record. Oh, and now there's an airplane. Cool. So I have like this like box that has been in my like recycle forever, and then I have like board game, a puzzle, 2 puzzles, and then my phone setup. So please be proud of the efforts that I have put in for this podcast. So it's been I feel like a little bit longer than I normally, like, I feel like I would have podcasted last week normally, like if everything had been normal. But a couple weeks ago, Steve got sick, and then I was good for like a week, but then over the weekend, a week ago, I got sick. Like, it was like on Monday of last week, and so I was sick, and like I wasn't feeling like up to podcasting. Like, I had really low energy, and like I was like my voice was weird, and I didn't feel like podcasting would be a good idea. So now I am ready, and since the weather's gotten so good, it's been awesome. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, I was just gonna say it's like April 24th, a Wednesday. Yeah, so it's been good. On Saturday, I sat outside and was doing my knitting, and it was awesome, and I posted on Instagram, and it was great, and I was super happy. Even though I wasn't feeling very good, I was still able to like sit outside and knit, and I got sunburned pretty good on the parts that were exposed. I don't know if you can see. This is where my bracelets were. I wear a Lokai bracelet and a Black Lives Matter bracelet, and I really didn't think that sitting outside that long would have given me a sunburn, but I was mistaken, and I wasn't the only one. So like one of my students commented like, everyone got sunburned this weekend. Yeah, his skin, he has dark enough skin that he said that he can sunburn, but mostly he just gets darker. So, knitting. What should I start with? I should start with a finished object. So I do have 1.5 finished objects, I guess. So I have been working really hard on knitting my socks, and so I went to Madison, not this past weekend, but the one before that, and I finished my first vanilla latte sock in the Friday I'm in Love colorway by Cannon Hand Dyes, 80% wool, 20% nylon, knit on size 00s, and I will post a picture of it because I don't know where it is right now. Like I took it off a sock blocker and then I don't know where I set it, so I'll include it. So that's my like 50%. But my like so excited, so hype finished object that I have is, oh my god, you guys, my Duncan socks. Like, this is the Twizzler Socks pattern by Becca Sanders, and it is a like slip stitch, has a gusset and heel flap. I'm sorry if I sniffle more in this podcast than most because my nose is just really stuffy. And yeah, so I knit this one first, and I really liked how this ended up. I did some like thinking ahead, but it was after I had already had this one little strip of orange right before I started the heel flap. It's a slip stitch heel flap. Right after I started it, I was like, oh well. And I was actually kind of happy because it keeps the pattern, even if it's just only one little strip of the pattern. I really liked how this came out and how it got down here. And then I think I messed up. No, I didn't. I was gonna say I thought I messed up on my counting for the toe, like that it was like kind of off center. I don't think it is though. I think it's right. This was my first one, and then my second one, I finished this out, got this, and it ended up a little weird down here, but then it allowed for the pattern to keep really clearly, and then ending with a full like tip here, whereas this ends up just a little. So they're slightly different, but not very different, and this one went really well, I feel like. Yeah. You will notice that I have custom sock blockers. In Madison, my friend Sean and Ben and Sean, they have oh my god, what is it called? The thing that cuts these things like cuts the wood. I'll have to put it on the bottom. I'll put it on the bottom here because I can't remember what it's called. But we were at a store, and I was looking at sock blockers because I didn't have any, and they were wooden ones, and Sean was like, we can make these, like I just need your foot measurements and we can make these for you. So this is like made to the length of my foot, like my specific Leah foot, and so that's really cool. But she just wanted to try it and see if it worked, and she's like, do you want anything like on it? And I was like, I don't know, whatever, surprise me, make it silly. And so because I was knitting my Dunkin' Donuts socks, she made me a Dunkin' Donuts Forever sock blocker. And when that worked, when it fit to the sock, obviously, then she was like, well, what do you want on the second one? So I got my handle on there, and it's been great. Glowforge. It's called the Glowforge. I got my second one made, and so she's like, I can make 2 in that and whatever, and I was like, no, it's fine, like it works. I didn't have to pay for them, so it's cute. Like, yeah, loved it. Super good, so excited. I love how everything like worked out for this first sock. I cannot tell you how many times I cast on to like try to get to the very edge of the orange yarn with the long tail cast on, I like kept having too much left over, and I didn't want it to only be a couple rows, so I recast it on like 7 times. Well, probably more than that when I was watching my friend play some ITG, watching Ben play. So yeah, really excited about these. Love this pattern. It goes by really fast. It's so easy. I really like this. I don't know if there's a standard heel flap and gusset or whatever. Like this is like, I don't remember how the vanilla latte socks are knit, if they're the same or not. And I just remember feeling like this, I mean, this was so easy. Like, I could really knit all my socks like this. It's like the second I decided that I was an exclusively like circulars, afterthought heel, toe up person. Like, I literally have in my like revelry that I was never going back to knitting top down, and it's like, this was so easy and it goes so fast, and I love that you can try it on as you go just in case. And it's just really, I mean, you can try it on as you go kind of either way, but like this is like easier to try on, I feel like. And then the second I decided that, I was like, actually, heel flap and gusset, I like the look of afterthought heels so much, especially because I use so much self-striping yarn, but the heel flap and gusset fits my foot so much better. And this height of like, this pattern calls for a certain number of rows for the leg, and so I just knit that many rows. Like, I just counted and just knit that many rows, and it was fine. And I knit my socks in double zeros so I can keep 64 stitches, just because that seems to be like the basic number of stitches that's in a sock, and I'm too lazy to recalculate, and I like how cute and little each of the stitches are. And so I think it's a little bit shorter than like the pattern shows, but it works really well for my legs, which have small ankles and really big calves. So yeah, the yarn is Artistic Yarn by Abby, in the Duncan colorway. I think it's sold out, but she has a store online. So those are the only things that I've completed. I am working on several things, but I wasn't really working on them while I was finishing the socks. Like, I finished those socks in 10 days. Like, so much knitting on those socks because I wanted them so badly before I did anything else. And I have a couple ideas for some sock yarn that's not actually socks, and it's really weird and kind of scary. Other things I'm working on, I'm still working on my Whether or Not scarf by Scott Rohr. I decided I'm not going to show it every podcast. I think I'm just going to show it at the beginning of every month and then go over the previous month, because then it makes it more dramatic, and I only have to talk about every single yarn the one time and how that last month has gone. And so we only have a week until I'm finished with April, and I will show you what April looked like then. I think it's gonna be pretty crazy, kind of weird month. I mean, it's like 70 right now, probably a little bit cooler than that actually right now, but it's supposed to rain, maybe snow this weekend because Minnesota. Yeah, anyway, so April will be interesting. I have not knit I have not crocheted anymore on my Summertime Tee by Toni Lipsy. I want to really badly though, so don't think I forgot about it, because I didn't. I really want to do some more on that. Maybe I'll do some more on that today. We'll see. Really hype about that. I have finished section 6, I think, on my Goldfish Memories shawl. So now I'm about to start the lace, which seems like the more involved lace because it has a lace chart. I usually read my knitting by writing, but like the chart seems really easy to read on this one, so I think I'm gonna try to follow it. So I just finished the stockinette, like 60 rows here in the 2 colorways. One of them is Ching Fiber Works, and the other color yarn is Hedgehog Fibers. I think the white is the Ching Fiber. I can't remember what it is, but I'll put it in what the yarns are. But yeah, so this is what I've got so far. And this is like halfway, I think. So it's gonna be a pretty big shawl. Really excited. Really excited. Goldfish Memory shawl by Casapinka. All right. I feel like that's like all I'm like actively working on. I'm gonna cast on another pair of socks because I always need socks. Oh, I'm also still working on my Hampton cowl, high Hampton cowl, but that is at work, and it's mostly stockinette. Or it's all stockinette in the round. So I'm not gonna show that again, I think, until I'm finished with it, just because it's pretty plain. I have a ton of stuff I'm excited about. I think I'm gonna talk about what I'm excited about before I show what I've gotten recently. So I'm first and foremost excited about the My Boy Lollipop Knit Along. That is put on by Getting Pearly With It, also known as Nancy Ricci. I'm really enjoying her right now so much. Like, she's just so cute. That starts on May 1st. I already have the yarn for it, as I think I mentioned in the last episode. It's Malabrigo yarn, probably Mecca or maybe Rios. I'm not sure, but when I start it, I'll tell you. It starts on May 1st and it goes until the end of the month. It's a really fast knit, you guys. It's like, I think the yarn it calls for is worsted weight. It does not take that long. It is not a difficult pattern. It was my first like actual shirt that I've ever made, and it was so easy and it looks so good. So yeah, I'm really hype about that. So My Boy Lollipop Knit Along, get on it. Next thing I'm excited about is the Fluorite socks by Andrea Mowry. It's reverse stockinette socks and they look really cute. I'm a little nervous just based upon how people say, like, I chose 1, 2, or 3, like those are the like 3 different sizes. Like, I'm gonna choose one because I have small feet, but I also have big legs and she likes to make her socks long, so I'm just not really sure how to handle that. In the Sweet Tea No Shea podcast recently, they mentioned, like, how do you deal with that? And I don't know. My very first pair of socks with Gauge Dye Works, I knit where I made the calf a lot bigger. I just feel like it gets to a point, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's either gonna be too tight and squeeze your leg, or too loose and just fall down and pool around your feet. Like, there's like no happy medium. I don't know. If you have a suggestion, just let me know. I just have no idea, which is why I only make my socks a certain length. I'll show you the yarn that I have for that in a second. Oh, I'm super hype about the Initium shawl by Carolyn Dick of C. Dick Designs, and it looks really, really good. There are kits. Oh, I'll put up where the kits are. And I bought the Ninja Turtles color kits, and I'm really excited. I'm so excited. I don't know. I just love when things are themed. I love themed things. So, the Initium shawl. Really excited. It'll be good. But those don't ship, I think, until like June 15th. Obviously, if you want to knit it beforehand, you can buy yarn from somewhere else. Like, you have to get the kits, but I wanted the kit. And I don't think it was that expensive. Nah, it was probably pretty standard, like $75 US. But it's a cute shawl, and the colors are really good. Really, like, nice and bold. The next thing I'm excited to make is the Springtime in Suburbia wrap by Nitty Natty. It is a crocheted shawl or wrap, really, and it looks just so nice, and it's like, you know, flowy, and because it's crochet, it's a little bit more open, and I really like the look of it, and so it's something that I really would like to make coming up here. I feel like I should finish my Goldfish Memory shawl before I knit that. Oh! I just remembered one thing that I'm still working on. I still really want to knit the Severine by Vanessa Smith. It's a top-down sweater, and it's it looks, the model is a really curvy girl, and I'm a curvy girl, so I really like the idea of trying to make a sweater that like fits me so well like that. We'll see. Like, the problem with me is I really like when things are form-fitting. I like the way they look, but then when I wear them, I'm like, I don't like it. Like, I don't know, it feels like it's not really fitting to me right, or like it's giving me rolls, or whatever it is. I'm not really sure why I end up not liking it. But like sweatshirts, like hoodies, I love hoodies that like look nice and are a little bit tighter on people, and then I wear them and I'm like, suffocating, no, I need a big sweater. But then if I wear a big hoodie, then I look frumpy and lumpy and not cute, you know, like how like skinny girls or small girls can look really cute in like a really oversized baggy sweatshirt, and like that's not me. I want it to be me, but it's not me. So we'll see, but I really think it'll be good. Hopefully. I want to try it. And the last thing I'm really hype about knitting is the Wingspan wrap. Some ducks flying by. The Wingspan wrap by Kyle Vey, also known, nope, I don't have his username on Instagram, but actually one of my old coworkers sent it to me, and she was like, I found this, it's totally up your alley, and it's gonna be released this Saturday, the 27th. Yes, I think the 27th. And it's being released with a specific yarn, so like it only takes one skein of the specific yarn. And again, I'll put who's having it, but if it's only one skein, and it's like this gorgeous gradient, it's like the sample knit that they keep sharing is like teals and purples and blues, and like the Wingspan, I mean, it's a big wrap that looks like wings. Like, it's super, super beautiful. And I don't know how much it's going to be, but it looks like something that I would really love to try. And I feel like my coworker thought of it just because I made her a dragon cowl for Christmas. I can't remember if I was her like Secret Santa or if it was just because we were co-teachers. I can't remember. I think it's because I was her Secret Santa. But it was really fun and really cool and really pretty. So it's right up in the same alley. Okay, so I forgot that I'm still working on my Routine by Carolyn Dick, by C. Dick Designs. And since last podcast, it looks like I haven't gotten that far on it. It's slower going than I would like, because again, ice cream truck. Yeah, it looks like I've done nothing on it, but I swear I have been. Like, when we left off, I was only right here, and now I am here. Am I just not making it bigger? I swear I am. It's a little slower than I'd like it to be, just because I feel like I have to actually pay more attention, even though I have the pattern memorized. Because if I'm not paying enough attention, I accidentally, on my purl rows, this exclusively happens on my purl rows, I'll like slip the already slipped stitches and purl the already purled stitches and mess it up, and I won't notice till I get to the knit side, and then I'll have to tink it all the way back, and it's just like really tedious. Yeah, so I feel like there's like a squirrel nearby that I can't see. It's making a lot of noise in the nearby tree. So it's not going as fast as I'd like. I still have a lot left. Like, I still have, I guess this is 400 yards, I think. It might be more than 400. I think it's 400 though. So yeah, I still have a really like decent amount left. And it's like, let's go. Come on, Leah, get it together. It's the Routine, because I love the way it looks. I want it to be done. Okay, that's actually all, I think, for what I'm working on that I want to talk about. Okay, things that I have gotten recently. So let's start with my my yarn box for this month from Darn Good Yarn. Darn Good Twist worsted weight. I don't know if I'd call this worsted. Maybe. I feel like I would call this more like Aran, but okay. It is. Oh. I live by a fire station and a police station, so we're very safe around here. In Machu Picchu. Ah, look at this. This is so pretty. It's so pretty. I have a previous student messaging me about having to do long jumps and doing her first track meet next week. This week, Thursday, tomorrow. And the additional item that we got this month was some buttons. So that's cute. I like that. Oh, I was like, what? So, Darn Good Yarn of our month, let's see. This month you receive our Darn Good Twist worsted weight silk yarn. Bold and bright, this 2-ply yarn is created by twisting 2 recycled silk yarns together, giving you beautiful color combinations. This incredibly soft yarn is sure to add a fun twist to your crafting project. This is Sari. It was made by Sari. Sari works at one of our co-ops in India to hand spin and dye your subscription yarn. And so, here's the pictures of that. And 3-pack silver buttons. The 2 options for this month are, they call them necklaces. They look like almost like braided. I-cord maybe? Like, I suppose I don't want people to copy the pattern. Please don't copy the pattern. Just look at the pictures. Yeah, so I was really hyped about this month. I like posted on my Instagram story about it because I was really excited about, like, I love the color twists in this one, and they like restoried it. That was cool. So I have also, so when I was in Madison the other weekend, not this weekend, but the one previous to that, Knit Circus was having a sale. Sorry, I dropped something. I can't have that blowing away. And I like to look at their yarns in person because they have so many bases and so many colors that it's hard for me to tell which one I really like online. And so I went to the store with Ben and Sean and made them sit there while I looked at like every single yarn in the store. And I settled on a few things. The first thing is, this is Knit Circus in their Greatest of Ease base. 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards for a shawl. Again, like, do I want a grow teen? What do I want to make with this? In Imaginary Best Friend, and the like style of dye on it is the Impressionist. So that's the thing with Knit Circus. So not only do they have like Greatest of Ease is like the yarn base, and then Impressionist is like the way that they dyed it. So it's like there's like billions of combinations on their website. And so this is that colorway. Really cute. And it's super, super fine fingering. The next thing I got, again in Greatest of Ease, is sock yarn. This is the yarn I want to use for the Florite socks. It's really, really similar to the Imaginary Best Friend, but it is Girls Run the World Impressionist. As again, like I said, Greatest of Ease. But yeah, this will look really, really good in reverse stockinette. So very excited to work on that. Really looking forward to it. After my last podcast, I like told myself, like, Leah, you gotta stop saying I'm really excited. It sounds so stupid every single time you say really excited, because you say it like a million times a podcast. I'm like, what kind of things can I say other than being excited? I need to stop saying it. Where other people say which I know I do, but I'm having a conversation with you. I say excited too much. And the last thing I got was this cute little baby yarn that was specifically dyed for Knit Circus by Plank and Stella. And I was thinking I would use it as a contrast color on some socks. It is 75/25 superwash merino nylon, 92 yards, 20 grams. I assume this stands for Knit Circus Wisconsin, because it's in Madison. It's a very, very cute, like Eastery colorway. I love it. And the last thing I want to show you guys, I just got in the mail today, so yay, is my bag from Wuthering Sheep. This bag, like, when I was looking at this online, I was just like, oh, it's a little sock sack, you know, it's cute, and I love the image on it, but it's nothing like super, I don't know, like, it just wasn't like super wowy. I just feel like it was like good. And then I get it, and it's like, the way that this is embroidered on there, the picture is adorable. Drawstring's really nice. And then, completely unexpected, it has a little pocket with a zippy to put all of your like notions and stuff. Like, what? And like the bottom is like super sturdy. So I just love Wuthering Sheep. I don't know, I assume this is maybe where you can clip down your yarn. There's one on each side, so I don't know, but it's super cool. And the bag is just like so like thick and nice. And also, go away because I'm introverting. That's the last thing I think that I've got yarn-wise and knitting-wise to show you guys. So I think that's all really for this week for knitting stuff. I have a few other things that I wanted to talk about. Podcasts that I have been watching or listening to and being really into lately. Still really into Nitty Natty. Sweet Teen O'Shea just uploaded a video, I think yesterday or the day before, 2 days ago, for the first time in like 6 weeks, and that was entertaining. The Knitmore girls, been really into them. They've been on my list again. I think that I had forgotten to like add them on my Apple Podcast when I switched from Podbean, and so I just like re-added them recently, and I've just been listening to so much of them. The Knit Girls, Little Skein and the Big Stash just uploaded a video for the first time in several months, and that is with Little Skein and Mustache Yarns. And I always love theirs. Like I'm always like, oh no, are they not gonna upload anymore? And Traveling Stitches podcast. On Instagram, I have been really interactive with Carolyn Dick of C Dick Designs. I've been really interested in Knit Boop. Hunter Hammerson is coming out with a really, really cool pattern. Again, like, she's so creative. Nitty Natty, 100 Projects. I believe, I can't remember if it's Marsha or it's one of the two U's. And Little Skein Anne from Little Skein and the Big Wool. She has been really vocal about all of the like equity stuff, like not even just race specifically, but on like economic privilege in the knitting community, and like, does that prevent people from either being testers or being designers or being known? And yeah, I think so. And so as a slightly bigger voice, I feel like she has been trying to ask deep questions and try to provide solutions when she can, and then asking for help. And so I've been really enjoying hers. Oh, and another podcast, and Instagram account that I've of course been watching all the time is Nadira Tani. So yeah, I think that's all for sure of all of my knitting stuff, all of my knitting and crochet, etc. stuff. And now for a little bit of life stuff. The biggest thing I feel like recently is my cats turned 12. I've had them since they were 6 weeks old, and they turned 12 on the 17th, and they're just a couple of grumpy old men who have the softest fur ever, and I love them. My babies. I started recording an audio podcast and uploading that to iTunes, Podbean, and Spotify. I wasn't sure if maybe people who wanted to like be a part of my knitting stuff, my like crafty things, if I would reach a better audience audio wise. I really prefer to do video podcasts just because I like to show the things. And I can describe things in pretty good detail, but I really want to show it. And so I just tried it. It hasn't really seemed to be like anyone has really been listening. So, but I'll keep trying. It's not a big deal. Like, I like talking about yarn. Like I said, went to Madison. It was good. Mini golf was had. Ha Long Bay was had. Bloom was had. Sauzier was had. So Ha Long Bay is a Thai restaurant, super good. A Bloom is a pastry bakery shop that also has a lot of like gluten-free options, a lot of vegan options. Really good. Good food. Always packed. Ha Long Bay is also always packed though. Like when we go to Ha Long Bay on like a Saturday, you will be waiting for an hour and a half. That's just the way it is. And Sauzier is of course the knitting cafe. It's like a coffee shop and then also has a knitting shop attached to it. It's like in a renovated house. That is delicious and also fun as usual. And we played mini golf. I don't know if I mentioned that. It was really cold, so we played only the indoor course, and there was like 1 trillion children. And everyone's like, you're over there like, well, Leah, mini golf is for kids. And it's like, no, mini golf is for me. No, it was fine. It was just really packed because everyone had to be inside. If people could be outside, it wouldn't be as packed because there's 3 mini golf courses and 2 of them are outside. And there's some ITG that was had. I didn't play a lot. I played a little. For second round for my dance game tournament, I think I ended up getting 3rd because I got sick and I just didn't play then. And some people came out of the woodwork and crushed some scores. So they started round 3. I'm finally starting to feel well enough to like maybe tomorrow. No, tomorrow I'm busy. I'm going out with a friend. Maybe Friday. I'll play and it'll be good. And hopefully I can put up some scores. Over this last month, we did a yoga challenge. I don't remember if I mentioned it in my last podcast, of a 21 and 30, like doing yoga 21 days out of 30. You could double up, you could do 2 classes per day if you wanted. And so I ended up getting that, even with going out of town for a few days and being sick. And you get entered into a raffle if you complete it. And I won. I won the raffle, which was a free month of yoga plus a $25 gift card. So that was cool. I'm a member, so like getting a month of membership for free was sweet. I'm always surprised, but I win things pretty often. Like I win drawings a lot, but I'm always surprised. I never think I'm going to win. So that was pretty sweet. I enjoyed that. And I also enjoyed all the yoga that I did. And I feel like that's about it for life stuff. We've got like 7 weeks of school left. My kiddos take our state test next week. I don't feel like Steve and I are doing anything big coming up. Just hopefully enjoying this weather, and hopefully Steve's still really sick. I hope that he starts turning that around soon. Oh, we went to Madison ostensibly because Steve was going to Midwest Gaming Classic, which is like a big like gaming thing. Like they have, you know, panels and podcasts, and but like the bulk of it is like games, and so buying and trading, bargaining, like tons of games. And he always gets really interesting things, and he got some like, I think one of his best finds was an inbox copy of picturing it, Harvest Moon 64, which we actually did not own. He got a few other like silly games, and he always brings me something back, and what he got for me this year was this Vivi bag. So I've been using it as a project bag, and it was actually really cute. Like I can use it as like a little purse or whatever, but he was like, I thought you could use it as a project bag, and it's like, I can use Vivi as a project bag. So adorable. Love him. So yeah, I guess that's about it for this week. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments, anything to add, please do so down below. Otherwise, I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye.